Well, we're back with Paul Oxley from GOSA, and we are talking more about the case of GOSA against the Minister of Police about the appeals board that has still not been resolved.
Yeah.
Paul, good morning. Welcome back.
Good morning.
What is the latest on this situation?
It just carries on. The story carries, and so this is what actually really gets interesting, because we've received a number of notifications from the CFR stating that the appeals board has reached a decision on matters, but they're not signed by anybody that you can identify.
Okay.
It's just like a squiggle. So now we started looking at this and we think this is very strange. Because if the appeals board is in existence, that means our case stands to be discharged. They need to chase us out of court. They do. They need to chase us out of court. So look, the matter is moot. It's done. The appeal board has been constituted. And, you know, these acts must go away now. But they don't. Why don't they? So we've looked at this from a number of angles. Yeah. Sorry.
Well, my guess would be that there isn't an appeals board.
Yep, that's what we've come down. It's the only logical explanation for where we're sitting at the moment. That the CFR is actually lying to us. There is no appeals board, which is why they're not identifying anybody. Even our contact, a rather senior contact at CFR that we used to coordinate with, tells us he doesn't know who the new people in the appeals board are, and he would. So it seems to me that CFR is lying. They're committing a fraud, which is not strange at all. I mean, with the shit they've got up to in the last couple of years. So it seems to me that they're lying to try to throw sand in our eyes, to eye blind us. Because if there was a properly appointed appeals board, remember, I spoke to you about this before, the appeals board you have to call for nominations. You have to then vet the nominations. You have to then appoint the people and you have to swear them in officially. None of that's taken place. Not that anybody knows about. So we don't know. Well, we're pretty certain there isn't an appeals board. All the evidence points towards there not being an appeals board, because otherwise the minister would just discharge our action, our motion, by saying, well, I've established an appeals board. We can talk about costs later. And then we have no fight. But he's not doing that. Why is he not doing that? Anyway, so we applied last Monday, so a week ago. We applied again for an order because the previous arrangement was that the minister would provide us with an affidavit, and he would have provided us with setting out what his defense is, because he keeps saying he wants to defend the action. So we're saying, well, show us. And we had it made an order of court about 2 weeks ago. So there's nothing. That kom nie uit nie. So we go back to the court and we apply for another unopposed court motion date. They give us a motion date on the 24th of August. Okay. So it punts it down the road by 2 weeks, etc., etc. You say, fine. It might not actually happen on the 24th of August because our council has another engagement on the 24th, exactly on the 24th. So we may shift a day or two or a week either way. But nonetheless, we have another court date, and all we want the minister to do is tell us what the lie of the land is. Just tell us what you're planning to do. You're planning to oppose it. You're planning to condone it. You're planning to, I don't know what you're planning to do, because you just won't talk to us. You know, so if you're not going to talk to us, we're going to keep dragging you back to court.
But what do they gain from doing it like this?
Apart from buggering the entire system, because now we're receiving, GOSA is receiving these notices for one or two of our members that have lodged appeals. saying, yeah, your appeal has been denied. Bye. And so we know this, but everybody else must also be receiving these. There must be hundreds of these fake rejection of appeal notices going out. So what they're doing is they're just embuggering the system. They're just gluing the works of the system up so badly that nobody will be able to undo it later. People will lose confidence in the appeals board system because they're just being refused, and the guys aren't telling them why. So here's another intricacy of the appeals board. You're supposed to be able to give oral evidence at the hearing of your appeal. I'm not aware of anyone ever that has been able to go to the appeals board at the hearing of the matter and give oral evidence. The problem is the appeals board's not a board at all. The appeals board's a bunch of people that have been appointed as commissioners, and they're getting a lack of salary and stuff like that. And they get files handed out to them. And they go back to their offices, or they're working at home or whatever. They're sitting like you and I, and they're doing the thing virtually. So you don't know that they're actually examining the evidence. You have no way of knowing this. It's supposed to be a board. So they all check each other out, and they say, hey, you know, this, they ask questions. Look, I don't know about this. What happens here? What happens there? We don't know. We've never known any of this. No one has ever been able to see inside the board to see what's going on. So it's this fictional, virtual thing that's supposed to take place. We're now going to start insisting we want to see the board sitting. We want to sit in the board meeting. We want to video the thing going on so that people can make actual objections the way they're intended to. And say, but now hang on a second, I do have those papers. If you look there, you'll see there's my paperwork. Because now they're coming and saying you don't have the correct competence, or we agree with the registrar. Just boldly, we agree with the registrar. On what? How do you agree with the registrar? How have you just discharged this appeal? We want to know now. This is now open government. We want to know. Because now we know they're bullshitting us. We know they are blinding us. And we've got the minister.
I mean, we've come to know, sadly, but brutally true. But the brutal truth is that we've come to know that this is how government operates. It's just so odd to me that in this case specifically, the minister had the opportunity, and all they had to do was produce the board. That's literally it. And the whole thing would have gone away just like that. I'm battling to wrap my mind around this. What attitude is behind this, that they are knowingly just dragging this out for whatever reason? It's completely unclear to me. I don't know what they stand to gain, except more cost orders and so on. And, you know, more people thinking CFR sucks, more people think government sucks, etc., because this is how they work. And it makes no sense to me at all.
And we're going into elections in a couple of months' time. November is local government elections. Everybody already thinks that the ANC is a bunch of crooks. These guys are just proving it. I mean, we hear last night, Major General Feroz Khan,
I heard he got shot.
Yeah, was shot in Houghton. 3rd Avenue in Houghton. He's in a critical condition lying in Mill Park Hospital right now as we speak. What the hell? I mean, this is the guy that was supposedly behind the heist where all that ammunition was stolen off the docks in Durban.
Yes.
So a million rounds of 9mm ammunition just vanished out of a sealed container in the security holding area in Durban in 2020.
There are just more questions.
Allegedly.
There are just more questions and fewer answers.
No, absolutely. It's we said, and we're on the verge of 2022 riots again, or 2021 riots again. Tomorrow is the
Yeah.
30th. March and
I
March.
mean, yeah, it's the big day is tomorrow, so we all hope for the best and
Yeah, sure.
wait to see what happens. Paul, thank
Yeah.
you so much for updating us. All the best with this.
Yeah, look, I'm afraid I don't have much more to tell you than here we are.
Yeah, but I mean, it's frustrating to say the least, and I'm putting it very, very nicely. So, but yes, that's where we stand. So, just so that the viewers know, this is what GOSA is busy with. This is what the state is apparently, I don't know, not busy with, or I don't know what agenda they are following here or what they're trying to achieve. But the fact of the matter is that there is apparently an appeals board, but all the minister needs to do is provide the proof to the court, and then this whole GOSA thing goes away, and that's not happening. And now they're going back to court, and yeah, that is in essence, ladies and gentlemen, where we stand. If you like this video, please click the like button. Please follow the channel, subscribe, and please share this video so that more people can understand what organizations like GOSA and those guys, SAGA, etc., are dealing with behind the scenes on a continuous basis on your behalf. And as always, if you're interested in any of the training, there is a link in the description below. Check it out. And we look forward to seeing you on a range one of these days. Paul, thank you so much for joining us.
Jumbo.